and welcome to Love and Stuff. I am Marcus Holmes, your facilitator, and I am so excited to be here with you once again. And we're having the time of our life with this background. And now I'm probably looking like it's a psychedelic move, so I'm trying to work it out. Um, Never a dull moment in Facebook Live business. And so we will try to fix that, but I hope that you will click, share, and tag some folks to join us in the conversation, even though you might be seeing the psychedelic version of me, which I promise is just a psychedelic version. Click, share, and tag some folks to join us in the discussion. I hope that's a little better. Let's see if it stays. If not, we will certainly remove it. Click, share, and tag some folks to join us in the discussion. I am going to just share this on the Marcus R. Holmes page now that we are live. All right. Hello, Lynn. I'm so glad that you have joined us. I hope you are clicking share and tagging some folks to join us in the discussion. Hello, Corey Reed. Thank you both for coming. And I'm just tagged some folks to join us, and I hope that you will do the same as well. All right. As we give our guests a second to join us. All right. And we are live on Love and Stuff. We have shared with the Marcus R. Holmes page. We are on YouTube and we are on Twitch TV. And I am thankful. Thank you so much for clicking share, Sandra Vandergriff. Thank you so much. I see Tim Scruggs and some others are clicking on the post and clicking share. I know this is the Democratic National Convention, but we try to stay true to our time so that we can just continue to have Love and Stuff going. We certainly do want to have some dialogue around what's happening at the Democratic Convention. And in a moment, I'm going to leave this background off. You know, it's Love and Stuff. And so if it keeps coloring me in the background, I hope that won't drive me crazy. But one day we will have the resources to do whatever we got to do to fix this. And I'm sure somebody can help us. All right. So some others have joined. I hope you'll click and share and tagging some folks to join us in the discussion. Oh, wonderful. Looks like Lynn Shaw and Nicole Bowen have started watch parties. Thank you so much. Make sure that, you know, there's a window where the comments are in the watch party or in the live. Remind anyone who joins you that if they want me to see the comments, they got to put it on the side that says live, because they could comment in your watch party, but I won't see their comments. So I'd appreciate it if you remind anyone that might join you on those. And I'm so grateful for those of you that are in the Love and Stuff community, like Nicole Baldwin, like Lynn Shaw, who are big parts, important parts of our community. All of you are important, but they are just great supporters. And if you, like them, are starting a live, make sure that people comment on the side that says live, because they can comment in the watch party instead of in the live. And so I just want to make sure people understand that if you comment in the watch party, I won't see your comments. And so then, you know, I can't respond to your comments, which, you know, here in Love and Stuff, we absolutely love to do that. Okay. Okay. So we're having such trouble with our background, but we're going to keep right on moving. Okay. And I am looking for our very special guest today, who I expect will join us. It is probably 5 hours ahead there. So it's 1:30 in the morning where he is. I'm just going to take this off. Hope you all don't mind that. I think people know it's Love and Stuff. I just can't work out this background. I'm trying. All right. And I tried earlier, as I do before the show. Looks like it's cooperating now. If it bleeds again, we'll just keep going. All right, so I'm trying to give him an opportunity to join us. And as he is doing that, I just want to thank you. There we go. All right, we're just gonna have to go without our Love and Stuff gear. We're okay. The show must go on. It must go on. That's what I will do. I will do none. I'm having fun with this. All right, there we go. Thank you all that are joining. Same old Lee. Thank you so much, Marilyn Hamilton. Good evening. Thank you so much for both of you joining. I hope you will click share and tag some folks to join us in the discussion. I am just trying to make it available for our guest to make his way right on in. All right, cool. All right. All right. Give him a second. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm giving him a second to get on in here. I was going to say the Love Over Racism t-shirt is available. If you want to purchase that, that is on our Shopify store, the HR dash passion guy at Shopify, or right on our Love and Stuff page. If you click on shop now, it will take you to our Shopify page and you can make that purchase if you decide to. It's a great t-shirt, and it's a part of our commitment to education, participation, and activation, so that we eliminate the impacts and mitigate the impacts of systemic racism. And so that's one of our goals here in Love and Stuff. And it looks like we're having a little challenge getting our guest in. We'll help him out. And while we're doing that, thank you so much, Corey. While we're doing that, how many of you remember when you were 19? All right, he's having a little trouble connecting. How many of you, okay, he's got a little network delay. How many of you remember when you were 19? Give me some likes or loves. You remember being 19 years old. Nobody? Anybody? Any of the folks that are here, remember when you were 19 years old? Trying to see the folks that have entered the room. All right. Looks like, oh, some folks, oh, I can't see, looks like Jay Gerald, looks like Roger Williams. You all remember when you were 19 years old. And was anybody, and I'm just doing this quotation not to minimize it, but was anybody in love at 19? In love at 19? Okay, I got one like. I want you to try to remember what that love was like at 19. And drop in the comments if you have one word to describe what that love was like at 19. Drop that word in the comment. What was that love like? And maybe while we're waiting for Solomon, I might have to get a couple of you on to talk about what that love was like at 19. Okay, of course, it's not really okay. Right? What was that love like at 19? I had to remember who she was. Yeah, you are a little older, J. Gerald. That either means that you have a short memory. No, that either means you're a little older, or it might mean that there were a lot of young ladies. More lust than love. Okay, so was the one word that you can recall, Roger, lust? What do you remember from that age 19 time? I think I might have to send you the link so I can hear what that sounds like. All right, let me help this brother out. He's trying to, almost there. All right. Almost there, all the way. I feel like we flew over to get him. To get him on, but I'm so excited to have him. So Roger says, yes, more lust than love. Okay. And what did that feel like? Does that mean there was a lot, what does that mean? Was there a lot of, I don't want to lead you to a conclusion. What does that mean? Were there a lot of, all right, he's trying to get in. All right, we almost there. Almost there. One day we'll fly to get our guests. Yes, or fly them in. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yes. A lot of unrealistic expectations. Okay, Roger, I'm going to drop the link in the comments. I'm just going to double check to see on the other platforms. We are on a couple of them, and I just want to see if there are other folks. Okay, cool. I want to just check, take a quick look. YouTube, we normally get our overseas, some of our folks from overseas on YouTube. And so I just want to check to make sure, just to see who might be hanging out there in the comments, in the chat. Okay. Fly you back to Paris. Okay. And Lynn, I don't know if I got your response. Do you remember? Okay. Do you remember being 19? Okay. All right. We're working hard at getting him in here. All right. Taj Crown has joined us. Thank you so much. Click share, tag someone to join us in the discussion. Do you remember when you were 19? Anybody in love at 19? Roger said it was more lust and unrealistic expectations, which I want to delve into that in one moment to see what does that mean? What did it mean for you and that relationship? And because we have a 19-year-old, he is probably the youngest or one of the younger members of the Love and Stuff community. And because there is such a time difference, he's not often able to be on the show. Where he is in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, is, I believe, 5 hours away. So it's going on 2 o'clock there. It's 8:43 here. And so he has stayed up a little bit to be involved and not just watch after the show or engage with content on the page. He agreed to be a part of the live discussion. And I noticed that his profile says, I'm in a relationship. And so I wanted to delve into what that is and to see if the Love and Stuff community might share with him some of their experience of being 19. There is a saying, being young, dumb, and full of, I'll let you fill in that phrase. But I just wanted to bring in another youthful voice in his experience and make him feel welcome in the Love and Stuff community. Like I said, he, gets to see it after the show or maybe some of the content that's on the page. So wanted to talk to him and see if it would remind you of any lessons that you might share with a 19-year-old who is in a relationship. And I don't want to say in love, because we'll ask those questions and what that means. And we'll also get to learn a little bit about him. And I think he is joining now. Angela Weems has joined us. Thank you so much. I think we may finally have him joining us. Looks like we do. I will be so excited to finally have him join us. I hope those of you that are here will share. All right. Okay, so I'm hearing sound, so I think we might be connecting. I'm just not seeing your video. So let's see. Okay. So Solomon, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
I can see you now. Fantastic. You made it in. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I felt like I flew over there to pick you up to bring you on camera. That's how it took. All right. So I'm glad that you are here. Welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thanks. It's my pleasure, sir.
And you can just call me Marcus. I appreciate the sir, but you can call me Marcus. So you are 5 hours ahead of us. So it's going on 2 o'clock there in the morning. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. So thank you so much for staying up. And I just wanted to get you on as a part of the Love and Stuff community. We've been kind of talking about it and try to get you on. So you are in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Is that where you are?
Absolutely correct, sir.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit of what it's like to be there? I've never been to Nigeria. And so tell us a little bit of what it's like to be where you are.
Being in Nigeria, it's fun, very amazing. Um, you get opportunities to pick up. You you just really gotta work hard and pick up the opportunities available for you, and make your strive towards your goal. It's a nice place to be.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. And what is the weather like there? Is it always warm, always hot?
We right now we are in our summer. We are experiencing the summer right now. Yeah, it's a bit hot. Yeah, it's a
And when you
bit
say a
hot.
bit hot, is that like 90 degrees, 180? What's a bit hot there?
Mm, it's actually rated from 60 to 65 degrees
Oh,
Celsius. Yeah.
okay. Oh, 60 to 65 Celsius. I'd have to convert that in my mind. I'm thinking Fahrenheit. I'll have to look that up on the phone. I don't know, Solomon. Okay, so Solomon is a biblical name. Is that what they named you after the character in the Bible?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And the character in the Bible, he's a very wealthy man. Okay, and your middle name, so pronounce your whole name and tell me if there's a special meaning to your name.
Okay. I'm Solomon Chigozie Wampa.
So you say Solomon
Yeah. Chigozie
Chigozie
Wampa.
Mwapa. Do
Yeah.
those names have any special meaning? Do they?
Yeah. Of course it does. Yeah.
What does that mean? What do they mean?
Actually, starting from my my popular name, I'm being known with Solomon. Uh, Solomon means wisdom. Yeah,
Mhm.
means wisdom. Then Chigozie, it's a kind of a native name down here in Nigeria. So uh, it means blessings from God.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So my last name Wapa, it's just good family, good family.
okay. And
Yeah.
in Nigeria, is English the primary speaking language?
Yeah, of course it is.
Yes. And what other languages are spoken there? And do you speak any of the other languages?
Yeah, only one I'm familiar with, just my major native language.
And what is that? Your native language is?
We have the Igbo, we have the Yoruba, and we have the Hausa, we have Efik, just so many, numerous to mention.
Okay. All right. And so you are in Port Harcourt. Is that the capital? Where are you? So tell us about, do you live in the city? Would that be called the city? Do you live in a suburb? Do you live in a rural area? Where do you live?
Or I live in the city.
Okay. And somebody in our comments is saying that it's about 135 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Is it that hot?
Probably the person should be correct, actually. Yeah.
Wow, that seems like very hot. I don't know how would you, I mean, there must be air conditioning everywhere. So I can't imagine, it's pretty hot. Okay, so
Yeah, it's really hard. Yeah.
okay, so you're 19. So are you working somewhere? Are you in school?
Due to the corona pandemic outbreak, school have been suspended down here in Nigeria. So right now we just got released from our lockdown and so more of that. I'm working presently now. Yeah.
And where what kind of work are you doing presently?
I'm a computer driver,
You are
company driver.
a company driver. Okay, very good. So that
Yeah.
means you got a good driving record. Good, good. No speeding and stuff. That's good. Great to hear.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
And so you all were on lockdown.
Yeah.
Does that mean that you could go nowhere? How did you get food if you were on lockdown?
Actually, we on lockdown, but some particular moments, the government announces dates where we could actually go out to get some foodstuffs here and
Okay,
return back to the lockdown status.
okay. So it was kind of like here we had in different states where, we had kind of something similar. We could go for food and people who had to work that were considered essential workers. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And so do you have brothers and sisters? Do you live with your family, your parents, or you live by yourself?
I live with my sister. Yeah.
Okay, so just you and your sister.
Yeah.
Okay, do you only have one sister?
Mm, I have um, I have five sisters.
Okay, and are they older or younger?
I'm younger than two, three are older than me.
Okay, so you're almost in the middle, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any brothers or just all sisters?
I have brothers too, of course.
And are your brothers older or younger than you, or kind of both?
Mm, Yeah, they are all older than me.
Okay, and so would they have been grown already when you were coming up, or did you live with your parents at some point, and you all lived together?
Yeah, we all lived together once, but I was still tender then. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I want to move forward because you are, yeah. So some people are in the comments saying, so Corona is in Nigeria too. Oh my goodness! And I would imagine, what is it like there with people? Do you know anyone that had contracted COVID, or what is it like there right now?
Not yet, but the government gives information on rising status of coronavirus in Nigeria. But for me, I haven't gotten an encounter with probably someone who contacted the virus already now.
Okay, so nobody that you know of has contracted the virus, even
Yeah.
at the company where you're working. Nobody.
Yeah.
But that's great. I'm glad you're safe. And so I wanted to talk to you because your status is I'm in a relationship. So I wanted to ask you because you're 19 years old, and I remember
Yeah.
being 19. So I'm very curious to see how your thinking is. You're 19 and you're in a relationship. Can you tell us a little bit about your relationship? To your girlfriend, your girl? What do you call her? In America,
Sorry.
we might call her our bae or our boo. Do you have a nickname for your girlfriend?
Yeah, she's my bae.
She's your bae.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does she call you?
Boo.
Okay. So you are her boo and she is your bae. Okay. And
Yeah.
how old is she?
She's 18.
Okay. And so how long have you known her?
Just 2 years now.
Just 2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And where did you meet her?
I met her here in the city too.
You met her in the city. Can you tell us a little bit about how that first meeting went? Were you at the movies? Were you at school? Tell us a little bit more.
Okay. Okay. I think I gotta record this now. Okay. The first day I actually met her was in a cinema.
In a cinema. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what movie, what
So
cinema? What show, what were you going to see? Do you remember?
I was just going to watch some thriller movies and so on. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And so
So
you met her, and when you saw her, what did you think?
Actually, there was a mutual connection, a mutual bond that actually existed at that moment between me and her because she sat close to me, and so she actually paid for my bills the same day. She actually paid for my bills, so I felt some mutual bond, yeah, some affection. That moment, just I just felt it flow out of me, and so I decided to make her my friend. Yeah, so after that, we
And
got more closer.
and so when you say I like how you said it just flowed out of you. You had a mutual bond. You said she
Yeah,
paid for your bill, so she paid for the movies.
yeah.
Is that common there? Would you normally let the girl pay for the movie if she asked to, or would you feel like you should pay for the movie?
Actually, I wanted to pay, but she insisted to pay.
Well, that's great. Okay. And so you said you felt this bond, this instant connection. Was it like you saw her and thought she was pretty? What about her made you feel this instant connection?
Actually, I saw her. She was very, very pretty. She was looking so fabulous and so amazing. I couldn't get my eyes off her, although, yeah. So there was a strong mutual bond, a strong attraction from me to her. So that was it.
And was this the first time that you had ever seen her before?
Yeah, of course it was.
Yeah, it was the first time. And so,
Yeah.
did you hold her hand? Did you kiss her? Did you walk her to the car? What did you do?
Not yet. I never kissed her though at the first moment, but I just escorted her to her major bus stop, and so I saw her off into a cab, and that was it for the day. Yeah,
That, that was it for the day. You exchanged numbers, I'm sure.
yeah, of course we did.
And after that, when you left that moment, did you feel like when I was 19, I had this, we call it giddy. I felt real warm and kind of silly inside. How did you feel?
Mm, actually, I felt good. I felt loved. I felt, I felt some move of compassion, but although it was just at the tender stage, so I got to put everything into should I say some mm, just some level of control. Yeah,
Okay. And was
yeah.
this your first girlfriend or had you had girlfriends before?
No, she is my first.
She's your first girlfriend. Are you her first boyfriend?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So after that first meeting, when was the next time that you all got together?
After the meeting, she actually came over to my to my place of work. She came to see me over in my office, and so from there we hung out for dinner. Yeah, we hung out for dinner, and so we had coffee, and so we threw more lights on knowing each other, and that was it. Yeah,
Okay. So you've been together though for 2 years.
yeah, two
Okay.
years.
How do you think that the relationship has grown? How has it grown?
Okay, I really think her the relationship must have grown so strong despite the flaws, despite uh, the ups and downs, and despite the arguments and everything. I think it all landed in a successful pace. I think right now we are good. Yeah, we've grown much, like we've grown in bond, in stronger bonds, and mm, I think we've learned more on understanding each other.
Okay. And when you say you ups and downs and arguments, what would you argue about?
Probably jealousy.
Okay. And
Yeah,
who's jealous? Are you jealous or is she jealous or both of you?
we are both
You're both jealous. And
yeah, we're
so
both jealous.
what makes you jealous? That can she have other male friends? Does that make you jealous?
Not actually having other male friends, but probably uh, when I put her call, like when I put her on call, like when I call her through, probably she will be speaking to someone else, and I'll feel probably she's talking to someone else outside me. So that makes me very, very, very jealous.
Got it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what about with her? What makes her very jealous?
Of course, I am a company driver, and so I have clients all around me, both female and both male clients, and so she's always seen them with me, probably in pictures and so on. Probably where we go to have our dinner and so on. So she feels so busted, like she feels. Oh my gosh, I
Okay.
think that's it.
And so how has the pandemic and the lockdown impacted your dating? Do you get together still within the lockdown? How were you able to still keep in touch?
During the lockdown pandemic, uh, our communication and our access actually had a cut. Like, mm, it was limited, although yeah, it was a bit limited because we couldn't see each other for a while due to the lockdown status, and we could only chat and make calls, and but visually we couldn't see each other for some while
Hmm.
because of the lockdown status.
Yeah. And how did that make you feel? Were you going crazy because you wanted to see her?
Actually, I wasn't really going crazy because I understood the situation at a particular moment because it was actually for everyone's safety. So I got to put some concentration down and some understanding too. So I really wasn't crazy, but although I had some level of doubts also, but I wasn't really crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna go to some of the comments here, and some folks have joined us. Gold Raj has joined us. Nicole, Mervet Broden has joined us. Nicole was saying, focus on school, focus on work. Young love is cute. How do I block daughters from watching this? That's our senior social producer. Okay, let me ask you this: are you in love? Do you think that you are in love with your girlfriend?
Yeah, I'm pretty in love with her. Like
Mhm.
I'm really in love.
How do you know that you're in love? When you say I'm in love with her, how do you know that?
Actually, from my point of view, how I know I'm in love with her, I hang out with other girls. Like I stay put with other girls. I I hang out with other girls, but the mutual feelings I have for her in particular, I don't think I really have it for any other girl I can ever hang out with, because of the commitment and because of probably the discipline I've applied to myself as having her as my girlfriend. So I really think I'm really in love with her. I can't really go somewhere without her. I probably can cheat on her. I probably can do some crazy stuff that's gonna probably hurt her or something like that.
And when you say discipline, what do you mean that you discipline yourself as it relates to other girls, other opportunities? What do you mean when you say discipline yourself?
Okay. When I mean discipline, I mean probably, of course, you could have a female friend who want to say, okay, can we go clubbing tonight, or probably can we hang out for a party? But if I actually know that it will bring hurt, or it's gonna make my girlfriend go hurt, I will swallow the test for the party or for the club, and I'll just stay back.
Okay.
That's the kind of discipline I meant. Yeah.
Okay. And so this is someone that you met when you were 17. Now you're
Yeah.
19. What do
Yeah.
you think that the future holds for your relationship? Do you think that this is someone that you want to marry? And do you think 19 is kind of early to make that decision?
Not really though. Yeah, not really. I must specify. I'm not really. I mean, 19 isn't the rightful age to make decisions for marriage. Of course, you gotta have some intellectuals. You gotta have some vocabularies You gotta know what it's about to get married, to become a married man and a married human. You gotta know what it takes to experience a marital life. And so I think 19 it's probably an underage to start thinking about marriage. But I think it's rightful moment to actually give into a date or probably a relationship so that you could get to know your spouse better, or probably someone you feel love with. You just get to know him or her better, yeah, before thinking about marriage. But right now I really don't think marriage is major concern right now.
Okay. And I'm just curious now, your parents, how old were they when they got together? Do you know how old your parents were?
Yeah, I knew.
How old were they?
uh my mom was uh my mom was 21, and my dad, he was 35
Oh, he
when he
was a
got
little,
married.
he was older. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And so is that something that you think might influence you, that you might wait until you're older to get married because your
Not
dad
actually.
did? Not actually. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think you'll just know when you're ready?
Not really when yeah, of course, when I'm ready, and probably when I must have accomplished my goals as a bachelor or as a single person before getting married. Because I really have goals I really want to achieve as a single guy, if I should use that word, as a single guy, or probably as a bachelor. I have what I want to do before my marital life.
Okay. And what are some of those goals? Can you tell us about some of those goals?
Sorry, some of which goes.
Some of the goals that you want to achieve before you get married. What are some of the goals that
Okay.
you want to achieve for solo mom?
Okay. Some of my goals I really want to achieve. I really want to be done with my institution, my higher institution, yeah, my university level, and so I really got plans on my music. Of course, I'm a musician, so I really want to be established before I get married. Like I really want to be mm, very rooted in my music
Mhm.
for the meanwhile as a single girl before thinking about marriage. Of course, marriage has much responsibilities to come along with. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And I, like you, when I was younger, I'm still into music, but I was a lot more into singing and music and gospel music when I was younger. Still am, but not as much as I was. And there are tons of women around that. There are tons of things that you can get into around that. So tell me, what kind of music are you into? And have you noticed that there are tons of women around? And how do you deal with that, being 19, gifted, talented, goal oriented, handsome, but you got a girlfriend? How do you deal with that?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Can I hear it one more time?
Absolutely. So, what kind of music or genre of music are you most interested in, or do you play?
Okay, I'm a gospel musician. Yeah, a gospel hip hop.
And so, have you found with your playing gospel hip hop that there are a lot of young ladies that kind of flock to you because you play music?
Yeah, of course. They are so numerous to mention.
Yes. And so, how do you deal with all of that extra attention while you're trying to stay focused on the girlfriend?
Mhm. Probably you can't keep them away. They keep coming because probably they love what you do. They feel loved around you, and mm, but like I said earlier, you can't actually keep them away. So that's why some level of discipline has to be applied at that very moment, at that very crucial time. Because if you really aren't disciplined at that moment, I think you will have to give a doubt to cheating on your girlfriend. Because of course, much more people, uh, should I say, much more people come around you because they love the stuff you do. They really love you as a musician, and so they will always want to hang out with you. So I think discipline, yeah, because once you're disciplined, that's it. Once you're disciplined, you can't really break the flows. You can't really break the rules.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to send the link for Jay Gerald and for Roger Williams if they're still here to join us. I want to ask you, staying in the same kind of vein, if you will. So you're a musician, you're talented, there are women coming around. Is that extra pressure to you about premarital sex? Do you feel pressure about premarital sex?
Absolutely, absolutely. As as a youth, of course, premarital sex is one of the raging, or should I say, it's one of the things trending right now, like trending around the world in
Mhm.
terms of the youthful age. Yeah, in terms of the youthful age. But I spoke with my girlfriend yesterday about premarital sex, and so I was like, okay, girl, how do you see this? This is premarital sex right now for you. Would you really love to have sex before marriage, or probably you really love to keep your dignity until your marital life? And of course, I am a personality. I cherish my dignity. Of course, I've always told myself, even right when I was a kid, I said, of course, even if I date and and get involved in any relationship, I will never do the shit. I will never have sex before marriage. Of course, it's my dignity, and so I've been living with the discipline inside of me.
Mhm.
So, yeah, and so glad my girlfriend also said same thing. She was like, of course, she can have sex before marriage because sex is licensed for marriage and not for not for pre-married couples. And so, I really think I'm one example of a person not giving into premarital sex because right now I feel it's very disgusting having sex before marriage because it's not a license, like it's not licensed to do that, and of course it's not a good omen also.
Okay. I think it requires a lot of discipline,
Yeah,
especially
of course
in
it does.
music.
Yeah,
I remember being 19 and there was so much access to so many things, even around gospel music at 19.
yeah.
And so it does require that commitment. I'm so proud to hear that and that discipline. Uh, how do your fellow musicians, do you play in a band? Do you play with other musicians? How do they respond to that?
Sorry, how did you respond to her?
How do they respond to your commitment to be celibate? Because are there other musicians around that also play in gospel and hip hop? What's the conversation like with those other musicians around celibacy, around keeping yourself, keeping your dignity?
Probably everybody won't have same mindset as you do.
Mhm.
Everybody can give in to the ideas you always move on. Everybody won't ride on your vision, but
Mhm.
yeah, I've got friends who say uh, it's fun to have that. It's fun. I've got friends who say it's their pleasure. So, uh, really, for my gospel band, I think no one actually has rooted in the matter, probably on their on their relationship stroke premarital sex life. Yeah, I haven't really dug deep into those stuff with them, like with my friends. But I've got friends who really cherish that, and I've also got friends who really say it's pleasure. It's a pleasure to do that before marriage, because of course that should probably be their point of view, their ideas, their own standard of of thinking. But for me, it's not at all.
And because you say gospel, does that also mean that you are a Christian?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, just checking. And so you're a Christian. Do you feel any sense of obligation to be an example to them, to teach them what the right thing is to do or the right way to do it? Seeing that they might have a difference of opinion, how does your Christianity and your desire maybe to evangelize to them about what they should be doing and how they should be living, how does that take part in your conversations?
Yeah, actually, what you said right now, probably yeah, what you're asking right now, it's the right thing to say, of course. Because if you're a Christian and you actually earn you aren't putting up any behavioral lifestyle that can influence someone who is actually doing the wrong to come do the right. I think there's no point of you calling yourself a Christian. Like me, I told you earlier when I have my visions, I have my goals, and so of course premarital sex, sex before marriage, I don't really cherish it. It's not part of me. So I think I've been disciplining myself. I've made some levels of discipline to myself in order to abstain from that. And so therefore, if my friends look at me, the way I the way I react to premarital sex and the way I react to things based on sexual matters, they will actually know, of course, this guy, he's really not interested in that, and probably they will see a reason to look at my own life or look at my footsteps and follow.
Got it. All right, I'm going to show a quick commercial for next week's. I'm going to bring Roger Williams in to join us. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Domestic violence. We've all heard the stories and seen the faces and heard the cries and the screams for an end to the violence. And we've heard the prayer of many of the survivors for someone to speak up. Well, on Tuesday, August 25th, the voice of a survivor is yet again heard. Looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulty with that, but I do have Roger Williams joining us. Roger Williams meets Solomon Wapa. Did I say the last name correct? I don't want to mess it up. And so I wanted Roger, because Roger has a son that's about your age. And Roger once, believe it or not, was 19. So I wanted to have somebody else to come on to just tell you some of the things from his standpoint. He's also a Christian, that he might share. But I think, Solomon, that your head is on pretty good for 19. I remember being 19 and maybe not as disciplined as you, though I think because we're in slightly different countries, I think a lot is different in some regard. But I commend your discipline and dignity around your commitment to abstain from sex and be celibate until marriage. So I applaud that. Roger, would you say that you applaud that as well?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Nice to meet you, young man.
Yeah, thank you.
I agree with a lot of stuff he said in terms of the discipline. I think that's great. He seems to have an understanding of what he wants. So I applaud all of it, definitely.
Yeah. And Roger, can you remember being 19? And I would imagine you would have been probably first year college, right? And were you pledging for a fraternity
No,
by that time?
before I went to I was in Highland Park Community at the time. I was in a community college preparing to go. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
and so think about 19. Was your mindset about the discipline of celibacy at that time?
I was too a virgin at that point. I was. Kind of sort of same thing. I was raised in the church by my mom, and so I had a different type of outlook on it. There are temptations at 19. I do remember some of the temptations I had growing up, but I kept myself busy. I was in school and doing other things with outside, so my mind was focused on that, and I wasn't because I really wanted to go to college, 4-year school, university, and so I kept myself busy. I wasn't a musician like Solomon, but I was, kept myself pretty busy.
And if you could go back to that time frame and thinking of the years between there and now, what advice would you give to Solomon about staying on the road that he is on now?
I think he hit on it. He said that he likes his music. He likes, um, he's working. He needs to focus on that. He needs to think about where he wants to go. Again, to have the feelings he's having for his young lady friend is awesome. But I think at 19, there's so much more that he needs to prepare himself for. Um, I say just continue on this discipline path. Discipline is possible at 19. Um, I mean, I did it. You know, I was the oldest of five of my family, but I think if he continues doing the things he said that he's concerned about, such as his discipline, staying abstinent, he'll be okay.
And what pitfalls would you tell him about that he might experience coming up down the road that you might share with him?
Like having like-minded people around him. If you surround yourself around people that will encourage the path that you're currently on, you don't want people that's going to pull you in a direction that you don't want to go, and it can happen really easily. You may be with a person that is a friend, or you think he's a friend, he or she is a friend, and their lifestyle will inadvertently weigh on your lifestyle if it's in conflict with where you want to go. So be very careful about the people that you surround yourself with. Understand that at this age, everyone's filling out their role. So they may say they want things that are similar to you, but you'll see their actions for what they are, and you need to. When you see that, you definitely need to readjust your focus. And if you need to cut people loose, you have to cut people loose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so Solomon, is there, before we let Roger go, is there anything that you could think that you might ask him about a question that you might have? Since Roger is like me, we're kind of, well, you might consider older guys, but what questions might you have at all for Roger? Roger used to be married, so he was married, a wife and children, all of that. They ended up not staying together, but he might offer you some insight. So anything that you can think of that you would want to ask?
Okay. Just a minute. Okay. I think I have one to ask.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello, sir.
He can hear you.
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Actually, I just wanted to ask, sir, talking on discipline and talking on discipline. Growing up as a young man, like growing up as a youth, what were your major disciplinary what were your major course of discipline? Like what discipline did you apply growing up as a young man to actually catapult you to the level you are today? Probably you are you mixed up with wrong friends, or probably you decided to abstain or cut off from some friends.
Mhm.
Like just the disciplinary level that brought you to whom you are today. Of course we all learn every day, so I think I really want to know some bit of that.
Mhm. Well, Solomon, I decided long ago when I was 18, 19, I wanted a little better than what I had, my situation. I knew college was I was the first in my family really that aspired to go to college. So that made that my focus. My mother pretty much put that Christian in me. She stayed on me about doing this, doing that. This is what you need to look out for. But I decided I had friends who um, we grew up together, but they did other things. Let me just say that. And for me, self gratification, I could delay it. I was more concerned with getting to the other side, and I wasn't in a rush to do all the other things, hanging out, doing other stuff that they were doing because I had to go. I was in college. I was going to school. I had to study. Um, I wouldn't focus so much on hanging out with the girls because again, I'm trying to get to where I was going. And I focused, and my friends that I was around too, they all were on the same path. They all went to college right around the same time I did. So we kind of encouraged one another to, stay on the same track. I didn't get my focus off. I didn't allow that to happen. I attended community college and received an associate degree. And after I did that, it was time to move and leave the state, not just the city. And I left the state and went to a college in North Carolina, which is we call it down south. And um, I never looked back. I never looked back. And then once I got my bachelor's degree, although I dated during that time, I didn't settle down and get married until I had accomplished my went to graduate school. And then I felt like, you know what, I'm ready. I didn't feel ready to take care of a family, take care of a wife. I didn't feel like I had the resources to do so where I was emotionally, economically. So I had to go a little further to do some things that I wanted to do in my career before it was time for me to say, okay, it's time. So, I mean, but I dated. It was nothing that I felt was I was going to sit down and get married because I still had the goals I wanted to accomplish. And I'm grateful I did that too. Because I look at some of my family and friends that didn't have that opportunity, that didn't take advantage of the opportunity I had, and their lives are a little different. It's a little different. Not it's no judgment thing. It's just they were different course, and the outcomes are a little different than what my outcome was. So
And Solomon, let me ask you, you hear Roger saying that he went to uh, college and then got his master. You talked about going to your university as well. So what do you want to do? You want to get your bachelor's and master's? What do you want to do? What do you want to study and what do you want to become?
Actually, I want to study aerospace engineering.
mhm.
Yeah. So down here in Nigeria, actually, it's very very scarce to see a good university that could offer you, or based on your course of study or your field of study. But applying henceforth, I decided to switch to Massachusetts University, Massachusetts, yeah, Manchester.
Uh,
So I really want to get my master's. Yeah, of course, that's one of my goals also.
mhm. And then once you do that, what do you want to do with that? What kind of work do you see yourself doing?
Probably as an aeronautic engineer. Yeah.
And do you think that will cause you to leave Nigeria? You will do it there? What's your goals?
Of course, it will cost me to leave Nigeria. It will. Yeah. So it will
And
cost me
and
to leave Nigeria.
and do you have a place that you want to go, or it doesn't matter where you go around the world?
Probably I really had a place, as I said earlier, on Manchester, Massachusetts. So, but if if it comes, of course, that it isn't made available at the moment, or requirements couldn't be met, then anywhere, so far as the possibility is there for you to study aerospace and to become a good engineer, of course, it will still go.
Mhm. Earlier, Roger, Solomon talked about this bond, this incredible bond that he has with his girlfriend.
Mhm.
And I wanted you to comment on that because I think the view of love and bond at 19 changes, as you kind of grow and mature. And
Mhm.
so, talk a little bit about what you, as a person that at some point got married, looked for in a bond and in love.
Hmm. And 19. To me, it wasn't love. I'll be honest with you. It was infatuation. When you meet someone at that age, I have a 19-year-old son, and he's with this girl that he feels I guess he loves her. He wants to be with her, and he just finished high school. And I tell him all the time, I don't. enforce my standards on him, but I ask him questions to get him to understand there's more to life at this point for him. What he's feeling is infatuation. He's feeling some type of, he has a bond with this young lady, as you mentioned. He feels like, oh, it's the right fit, but he hasn't dated around. Let me say that. So he really has no point of reference to say what he likes and what he doesn't like. So, I try to just impress upon him. Don't get too wound up thinking that this may be it, because as people grow, they sometimes grow apart. And it's okay to have a good relationship where you feel a connection with the young lady, but you still have to focus on those other aspects of your life, because you won't be a value to her if you don't work on you, if you don't put yourself in a position to realize your goals and dreams so that you can provide and care for her and the family. And that's how I explain it to my son. I say, it's okay to feel this emotional attachment, but to be happy and have a successful life and a good standard of living and standard of life, you have to provide as a male. You have to be able to do that. So you have to be able to be a little bit more focused. It's okay to enjoy the emotional ride, but stay focused. I stay focused. And it to me, it worked out well. To a degree, it worked out well getting married and meeting the young lady at the time that I married. So I say the same thing to you. Just stay focused. Like I tell my 19-year-old, it's okay to feel this old emotion, this feeling you're feeling, but you need to take care of you, prepare for you, develop you. You can still maintain an awesome friendship relationship with this young lady. That doesn't have to change, but you have to change. You have to improve. And so really, so does she.
Yeah. And I want to add to that, Solomon, what you and Roger have in common is that you both were able to have some level of discipline, that you were virgins at 19. I unfortunately was not. And so I am so proud of you that you are at a place where you understand that you need to have discipline to get where you want to go on your journey. And I would strongly suggest that you stay on that path and not open that door, especially since you want to be an aeronautic engineer, along with your gospel music. That because gospel is popular around the world, it has a draw, and it draws more than just people who are seeking the gospel. And so that talent, that gift will bring you before a lot of people, and not just great men. It'll bring you before all types of people. And so what you want to do is make sure you stay focused just like you are today. And in that relationship, because this is your first relationship, right? In that relationship, make the bond more about a friendship than you do about something that's intimate, so that you aren't constantly challenging yourself with the temptation of more. Build a strong friendship that will last over time. And who knows, this might be, this young woman might become the woman that you will marry. But if not, you've built a strong bond that has more friendship and companionship component to it than anything else. Because if you don't be careful, you'll nurse that jealousy, and that jealousy will be insecurities. And insecurities oftentimes make us do things that we would not normally do to make ourselves feel more secure. So when I heard you say that earlier, that, she's jealous, you're jealous, which is natural. That happens. I think Roger would tell you when he was 19, when we were 19, we didn't have iPhones, but we had pagers. And we probably, if somebody got a page on the pager and it wasn't from us, right, we might be upset about that. But if you nurse that insecurity and jealousy, it'll open the wrong doors, I believe. And you'll feel more pressure to do things that you don't have to do. You're a shining example of what we hope for all of our 19-year-old boys around the world. In America, there's a lot of pressure for 19-year-old boys, especially of African descent, because it is not regarded as cool. It's not regarded as good to be celibate or a virgin. That's not a good term. You won't hear a lot of 19-year-old boys in America saying, I'm a virgin. They're not happy to say that, but they should be, because it demonstrates that you understand how valuable your dignity is for where you're going. And I think you're going great places in life. And I'm so grateful. We kept you up till 2:30 in the morning, but I'm so grateful that you decided to come on and share with the world something different than what we might be seeing and thinking about our future. I think we can sleep a little better knowing that there's a Solomon in the world who's going to make a difference in the world because he started with discipline. So I'm so grateful and thankful to have you on today. Is there anything else that you would share with? There might be a few others. You're probably the youngest person in our Love and Stuff community, but there might be others that will hear this that are your age. What would you tell young men and young women that they should be doing to get on the path for their destiny to become all that God has created for them to be?
Okay. Uh, I really want to enlighten the young men and young women out there. Uh, no, they said knowledge is power, and so of course I won't I won't proceed without saying thank you, Mr. Marcos. I really appreciate the opportunity to. Of course, I've been blessed. Like I would say, I've been blessed, Sarojo, and so on. Your words were very, very, very touching, and mm, they were powerful words. Like they were powerful words. I really need to key into everything you've said. Of course, we learn every day. As I said earlier, we learn every day, and so I think right now, I've I've also undergone another essence of learning. I've passed through another stage of learning also. Of course, we learn for the better. We learn to have more knowledge. We learn to impact more. And so I would love to tell the young people out there, the young females and the young males and the rest of them, you really have to be disciplined at your youthful age. If if actually you really know what you want to achieve, yeah. If actually you know the heights you want to get to, if actually you know the future you want to build, I think you really need to exercise great levels of discipline and also stay focused and also abstain from wrong friends and from wrong people. Yeah, do the right things, and I think with all I've said, you're gonna make a great future.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to let you get to sleep now. I know it's 2:37 there. I am again thankful. We're going to have you back on to come play for us, to play some
Yeah.
gospel music. We might have to record it so that you won't be 2:30 in the morning trying to play it. But I'm grateful to have you on. Thank you all the way from Nigeria. I feel like I'm there in Nigeria in this moment, but I'm grateful that you're here on with us and very proud of you as a 19-year-old. I'm really proud of you as 19. Uh, the wisdom that you speak with at 19, I think is good. And it's good for people to see. It's good for those of us that are a little bit older, Solomon, because it gives us hope. And it reminds us of maybe some earlier years of things we've experienced and seeing where God has brought us from there to where we are now. And I trust that you will look back in many years to come, if the Lord delays his coming, that you will look back and say, that you can look back and say, I once was young and now I'm older, and I've never seen the righteous forsaken nor his seed begging bread. And so I hope that you will stay in touch, stay in the Love and Stuff community. You can help us grow the younger group. I know it's not a lot of folks your age in the Love and Stuff community, but there are some folks that can learn a lot from the things that you've shared with us tonight. So I hope you will, hang in there with the Love and Stuff community and keep sharing. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
And
Thank
Roger
you very much.
Williams, thank you so much, both of you, for joining us. I appreciate it. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure too.
All right. Thanks, Roger.
All right, Marcus.
So that was Solomon. I had been saying Solomon, Solomon Wapa from Port Harcourt, Nigeria, who stayed up with us because it's 2:30 a.m. there. And so those of you, our friends in Nigeria who follow Love and Stuff and are part of our community, we're going to have to work out some things because you've been saying, hey, your show comes on late for us. That's why we try to do some gratefulness journey moments earlier in the day and things of that nature, because we realize there's quite a time difference from our 8:30 time to the time that you might be watching or awake. And so I appreciate all of you that are watching on YouTube and those that are on Facebook and those that are in Nigeria. Thank you so much for increasing our Love and Stuff community with the wealth of your space and presence. And we are so proud of Solomon, who is 19 years old, who is committed to celibacy, who is committed to being in love as any 19-year-old might be in love, and committed to his gospel music and to returning to school after the pandemic to become an engineer. I want to just say in the space of Love and Stuff that whether you are 19 or 69, I think one of the great things that Solomon has shared with us and taught us is it really depends on where you want to go in your life. Where do you want to go in your life? That will tell you the level and amount of discipline that you need for your life. That's some sage wisdom from a 19-year-old, and I love it. And I think that we should share it everywhere we go. If you've got goals and visions and you have things that you want to accomplish, you got a vision board, some of you, and you've lined out the things you want to accomplish, then we've got to be about the business of aligning our discipline to help us to get there. And Solomon, while he's only 19, has a good sense of what that discipline is about in his Christian relationship, his relationship with the quintessential love. It requires for him to keep his dignity. And I don't know about you, but I am just so proud to hear that from a 19-year-old, that his commitment is to God and to the work that God has for him and to himself. And that's what the call of Love and Stuff is saying to you about upping your love game. It's what is the quintessential that is love? What is God pouring into you? What is God designed for you to do and to become? And in response to that, when you love him with your whole body, mind, soul, and strength, there is a discipline component that's built into that love. You couldn't love God with everything you got if you don't have a discipline about it. And your neighbor as yourself. That means, in some regard, that even when your neighbors aren't aligned with what you aspire to or what you believe, what you seek to achieve, that there is still a love that says, I may have to separate myself because you're not like-minded. No judgment, as you heard Roger Williams say. Different paths sometimes happen because different people take different paths. But you must be true to the path that you are on your journey of loving self. This is Love and Stuff, and I am so grateful, and I hope that you will click share and tag 5 of your closest Facebook friends, 5 of your more popular Facebook friends, to keep the worldwide, this is global discussion that a 19-year-old has brought to us at 2:30 in the morning, and as Nicole Baldwin says, at 135 degrees Fahrenheit. I was thinking I wanted to go to Nigeria, Solomon, but I think I might have to hold out until winter. But I am excited that Love and Stuff gives us the opportunity to touch people around the world. And while there's just a small contingent of folks in Nigeria that are part of the Love and Stuff community, a small contingent of folks in Mexico, folks in India, folks in the UK, each one of you are part of an important fabric that's woven together in love. And we want you to know we appreciate that you are a part of our Love and Stuff community. And just like Solomon, we value your voice and your experience, and it enriches ours as we understand different perspectives. Sometimes those perspectives remind us and help us to reflect back where we were and how we have been informed along the journey. And it brings moments of gratitude and thankfulness about everything that the Creator, that the love, that God has allowed for us to experience along our journeys. And sometimes, if we're open, a young person can teach someone more seasoned how to be even more seasoned. I'm Marcus Holmes. This is Love and Stuff. Have a great night.